welcome to Stock Talk. This is your host, Scott. Hope you've had a few good weeks of trading here. We haven't done any trading myself. I may have bought some QQQ. That's kind of what I've been doing. It's kind of nibbling at QQQ as the market has some bad days. But this past week was a pretty good week. The Fed was kind of dovish. Powell indicated he was going to have probably a smaller increase in the rate. So that was good news for the market. The market shot up really good. I believe that was yesterday, and or day before yesterday. And good day for the market. We've had some pretty decent days this week. This is actually probably first good week we've had in a while, and so hopefully we'll head in the right direction. But we've been kind of trending in the right direction on most of our stocks. We do seem to have the right things. When this market goes up, we go up. So we're going to look at our portfolio and just kind of look at what's been going on, and just talk about what's going on in the market. So let's go ahead and look at the portfolio. As you can see here today, you can see that the market was pretty flat. Not a lot going on. You can see here the Dow was the green one, just barely. We had a little green on the NASDAQ earlier in the day, and then it fell down towards the end of the day. But you can see the little trend. It did start out low this morning. All of them did, and they just worked their way up before the day was over, which is good for a Friday. We'll take that. Even though the QQQ did end up a little bit down, but we're going to take a look at some of these charts and see what's been going on the last few days or so. So let's looking at the one-day chart here. Let's take a look at this 5-day. You can see the 5-day chart. We do have a little trend up there. So I'm going to look at, if you pull up these things in your phone, you can do a little quick 5-day chart there, and it tells you the percentage of gain over that or loss over that 5 days. So in the 5-day period, we've had an increase of 1.96% in the QQQ. So anything green's good, but that's about a 2% gain in the last 5 days. If you go out to the month, you've actually got about a 10% increase in the last month. So we're heading in the last month in the right direction. It's about time. We need to keep heading this direction. Because if you go look at the 6-month chart, you're going to see there we are still down for 6 months, but only 7% compared to where we were. If we go year to date, you can see here year to date we're going to be down to about 26%, and then if you go for a whole year, you're looking at a drop of 25% or so. So we still got a good ways to go before we get back to some numbers like we were before. Hopefully we can get there. That's what I'm counting on. I'm still holding everything I've got, not selling anything anymore. We still got Novavax on here. We did get out at 43 on that one, so that was a good move. We're actually going to probably take that off pretty soon, but I like to just keep an eye on it. Let's just take a quick look at it and see what it's done here. This week looks kind of flat, so let's look at Novavax on a 5-day and see what it's done. On a 5-day for Novavax, I'm showing, let's see here, it's pretty flat, but not even a percent loss. Here we go, right here it is. So there's your 5-day number there. Okay, so it does show up on this one as well. So the 1-month chart looks like this. 1-month chart, we're actually down about 19%. So you were around 21 starting the 1 month ago. And so it's down almost 20% for the month. Look at the 6-month, and we are down 70% on that one. So that's an ugly one. That's an ugly one. That's one that bit us, and they really messed up on the earnings. And they did have an earnings call the other day, I believe, and I think they actually made their earnings once. Let me see if we can just take a quick look at that and see if I see anything on that. Let's see here. Yeah. Now they've got one coming up Q4. I think they did miss the last one as well. See how they miss. Every time they miss these earnings, it's just it crushes you. And so they just keep missing earnings. They can't seem to get it right. So there it is. I mean, this is where they're going. You notice this, it's even going down too, and they're still missing it. So not something I'm going to play with now. I mean, it's just not looking good for that one. I'm glad I got out at the 43 mark. But it did bite us. I mean, of course, that's the one we've made a lot of money on the last few years. And so, you play them long enough, they bite you back. So that's what that was done. So we forgot about it for a while. We're not going to be worrying about that one. Amazon, which, if you'll notice, see, we're trying to get into these that are a little bit more, solid companies. They're not going anywhere. Not that they're not going to drop, but you can see Amazon here. Today was down a little bit. But let's go ahead and go to the 5-day chart here. You can see the 5-day chart on Amazon. Let me pull it up on the phone. I can tell you the percent there. It's pretty flat, about 0.75% up for a 5-day period. For the 1-month period, Amazon is up about 2%, a little bit over 2% for the 1 month. 6-month period, we're looking at down 25%. If you go to year to date, you're down 43%. And see, this is Amazon, down 43%. Unreal. And into 1 year, you're looking at 45%. So these solid names of companies, Amazon, my wife uses them all the time. So to see how far these things have dropped, if you have money on the sideline right now and can afford to wait at some, a few years if need be, these are some solid names to get into. Not financial advice by any means, but that's what I've done. Of course, I did it a little bit too early. I wished I'd held off, but that's the thing. You just never know. If I see this market turn and I get confident in that market, I could put some cash to work. But right now, I'm keeping that cash to live off of just in case. So it's been a tough road. There's no doubt about it. This has been a tough year. Let's go ahead and look at Google. Google's going to be pretty much the same story, I would think. Let's take a look and see. Go to Google, and we're going to pull up a 5-day chart on Google. The 5-day chart on Google, today it was down a little bit, about 0.5%. But for 5 days, it's up 3%. Let's go for the month chart. 1 month chart, we're up actually 15.49%, so that's done good the last month. And on the 6-month chart, we're looking at down 14.6. So it's down 14.6. Year to date, the Google's down 30%. So that's a solid name, down 30%. And the 1 year mark, we're looking at a 29.75%. So even Google's down 30% for the year. Okay. So these are tough. Here we go, Tesla. Let's take a look at Tesla. But you can see, short term, they've been doing pretty good. These stocks have been doing halfway decent, and that's why I've actually had a decent week or a few weeks. Probably would have had better if Bitcoin would have moved a little bit more, but it's done pretty good, so we're going to look at that as well. 5-day chart here on Tesla. Tesla 5-day is up 6.5%. 1 month on Tesla, we're down 9.3%. And this is starting to be ugly here. 6 month, down 24%. Year to date, you're looking at 44, almost 45%. And then 1 year chart for Tesla, 46%. So again, these are the kind, if you have cash money, if you want to put some money to work, these are some good names to buy stock. in these, I believe. That's, again, not financial advice, but this is kind of what I've been doing. But I did it way too early on these, but they'll be back. And so that's all I care about is that they come back. Um, GBTC, this is your Bitcoin Trust, Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. Let's see what it's been doing today. Up percent. Let's see what the 5 days been doing. Bitcoin has recovered a little bit here lately, and you can see here on a 5 day we've actually up about 6.5% on it. For the month, you're down 9%, 9.3% for the month. On a 6 month, you ready? These are going to get ugly. 24% down year to date. 44% down year to date. That's as ugly as it gets. In the 1 year, 46%. So these will all be probably fine once Bitcoin comes back to life. And it's showing a little bit of signs this week. It has. Of course, the FTX debacle caused all these cryptos to go down and get hit pretty hard. And so we've got to recover from that event. That's a tough one. But one thing about the Bitcoin, if you're familiar with Bitcoin at all, there is a halving. I think that's how they pronounce it. But that's not too many, about 70 days out or so. And this thing tends to start to run up prior to that halving, and it has to do with the hash rate and everything of the mining. So, but in the past, when those halvings have taken place, Bitcoin seems to run. Now, it could be totally different this time. We have a whole different situation as far as the economy goes, and this thing tracks the market, but that's when it starts to run up, usually during that cycle there, and it usually starts before the actual halving, and we're in that period of time now, so keep your eye on that. So hopefully it repeats its history, because that's what we need to do. Okay, so that's GBTC. Let's go look at ETH. That's another crypto. This is Grayscale as well. I buy this Grayscale Bitcoin and Grayscale ETH because that's the only thing you can do in an IRA. We can't buy the actual coins. Now, I do actually own Bitcoin and Ethereum, the coins themselves. I use Coinbase as my ramp there. Probably should get it off of Coinbase because that's what they tell you to do, and put it on a cold storage. But I'm just more. I guess I fear myself losing it more so than an exchange. I think Coinbase is pretty solid. It's not like FTX. I think it's pretty solid, but hey, there's been a couple of them go down this year, so it's you got to be careful. You got to be careful for sure, and probably having it on a cold storage is the best thing to do. And I may eventually do it before it's over with. So hopefully it's not. I don't wait too long and something bad happen. But right now we're just going to trust the exchange. So here we go. Grayscale, Ethereum. Today was up a little bit. We like to see that. But they did pretty good today. These things did as far as crypto goes. Let's take a look at the 5-day chart on Ethereum. I think it's been doing pretty good here, even better than the Bitcoin. Okay, so 5 days we've got 1.85% gain. If you go to the month gain for that, it is terrible. It's at 31%. So when this FTX stuff happened, it really knocked this thing in the dirt. This thing has been up there pretty high. Last 6 months it was $11.30. So 6 month period here we're down. Let's see here, 42.9, so almost 43%. Year to date, we're looking at 78, almost 79% down. So, and then 1 year is 84.3%. This is a crypto winner. There's no doubt about it. This is typical. This is, if you go back and look at crypto, this happens when they have what they call a crypto winter. And these things get knocked in the dirt like this, and then they come back strong. But that doesn't mean history will always repeat itself. But I think this is the third or fourth halving that they've had, and it has happened every time previous. So, and they've had these 80% drops as well. So this is all something that the crypto people are used to. It's hard to get used to. I'll tell you that right now. And I wished, if you could time this stuff and then buy back in on these dips, you could really do good. Timing the market's hard though. It's just another variable. CLSD. This is one of our biomeds. It's gotten crushed here lately, but let's see what it's done in the last few days or so. Let's see. 5-day chart shows us up about 1.85%. So it's up a little bit for the month. We're down 31%. See, so the further out you go, the uglier these things get. 6 month, 42, almost 43% down. Year to date, 78, almost 79%. And 1 year, 84%. So as you can see, it's not just the cryptos. It's biomeds. It's everything. It's everything that's gotten crushed. This has been one of the worst markets I've ever been involved with. I've been since 1999. This is worse than 2000. This is worse than 2000 and 2007, 8 period. I think 2015 was kind of a rough year, but been bad. It's been bad. So, all right, let's just take a look at the Bitcoin. Okay, so Bitcoin up a little bit today. Let's go ahead and look at the 5-day chart there. 5-day chart on Bitcoin, we're seeing about 5.25% gain. The 1 month, you go to 1 month, it's down 15%. Again, that's the FTX fallout. And then go out 6 months, you're down 44%. Year to date, or 1 year, let's go 1 year. 1 year, you're down 69, almost 70%. So again, that's the crypto winter that they've always talked about. And this first one I've been through, so it's no fun. But hopefully things comes around like it's supposed to, and we'll be okay. So some of these that are tied to Bitcoin, this is HUT. It's a Bitcoin miner. It's had a rough time. It's gonna follow the Bitcoin. And let's go ahead and take a look at the HUT here. HUT mining, and it's had a bad go here, but it tracks Bitcoin pretty regular. Here, 5-day, we've got it up 4.17%, and all these miners are really having a struggle right now because when they mine this Bitcoin, it's not, the return on it's not as good as it was, because it's down here in the 17,000 versus 40 and 50 and 60. And so when they mine the Bitcoin, they're not making a whole lot. And the cost of everything has gone up to mine. Power, it costs power to run all these machines that run. And so they are probably using up every bit of cash they got. This one here has a lot of Bitcoin that they have. So I don't know if they're selling any yet. I don't think they have been, but who knows what they're going to have to do to keep afloat. But when you start getting down that close to that dollar range, it gets scary. That's when you get shares, dilution and everything else. So we got to hope that doesn't happen here. Hope things turn before they have to do anything like that. 1 month chart, you're looking at a 40% drop here. 6 month chart, we're looking at a 47%. Year to date, 84. Oof. So that's a crypto winner if I've ever seen one. And 88 for 1 year. So that's pretty bad stuff. But if we can get back to those numbers, then that's a pretty good return as well. So, but that's a long ways off. It's not going to happen overnight. Tilray. Tilray is another one that we bought in way a long time ago and way too high. So, but it did have a decent day today, up 41 cents, almost 10% today. So those are good days. Anytime that happens, we like that. And we have a few shares of these, so that's always good to see those that we got a lot of shares of do that kind of thing there. So 5 days, this has been good. In the last 5 days, this one has gone up almost 19% in the last 5 days. That's a nice looking little chart for 5 days. And that is, we like that a lot. Now this one, when it takes off, it can run. I mean, it can run really fast. And so we're going to keep an eye on this one. For the past month, this one's had a really good past month too. It's 28% up. Okay, of course we're going to look at these other time frames, but that's pretty good for the last month. We like the way it's heading. 6 month chart here. We're actually up for 6 months. This is probably the only one, that 6 month chart, that we've actually have gotten green on. This one here is 3% up in the last 6 months. That's amazing that we've actually got one that's turned green in the last 6 months. All right, but if you go back to year to date, you're looking at a 35% loss just about. And then if you go back a year, you're looking at a 51% loss, almost 52% loss. So we got a ways to go. We got a ways to go on that one. And we're going to look at another one we got a ways to go on. But I think some of these are making good progress. They're heading the right direction in the last week or so. And some of them even in the last month. So here's another one we had that's almost up 10% today. Nikola. That's the electric vehicle, hydrogen vehicle. So this is a 2.85 share price right now. We've got quite a few shares of these. Let's go take a look at the 5-day chart on this one. Okay. We've got a little green on this one in the 5 days. You can see that 5-day chart looks really nice. That's a 19.25% gain in the last 5 days. So that's a nice one. Go up to a month though, it's a whole different ball game. You're down 13.6%. This is going to get uglier as we go out. You're at 60% year to date. No, 60%, I'm sorry. At 6 months, you're at 60%. Year to date, you're at 71%. And in 1 year, you are at 71%. So you can see it's ugly. The good thing about this is when you have bad markets like this, and all your stocks have gotten beat up, if you got the right stocks, and the market turns, then you have some good days. Like today, we had a very good day. Let's go back. I want to show you something, what I'm talking about here. Let's pull it up and take a look at the portfolio for today. You can see here, we had some pretty good green ones today. All right, now we did have a couple here that, and these are usually our solid ones, but these not. Let's take Novavax out of there. But you can see QQQ is down just 0.5%. Amazon down 1.5% almost, and then you got Google down about 0.5%. But the other ones you had pretty good. They're green, they're solid, and that is on a day when the Nasdaq was down a little bit. If you go back and look at what happened on the day the Fed brought out the good news, we had a really good day. We had a really good day, and so if you have those real, the markets have really good days, we have even better days. And so I think as far as the bad days, we don't seem to get beat up as bad anymore because ours have gotten so beat up already. that's the good news. Once you get beat up so bad, there's not a whole lot of beating that goes on after that. But we're gonna watch this market. We're kind of just sitting on the side. We're just trying to make it through the bad market. Hopefully, we're going to trend this way from here on. Hopefully, inflation gets better. Hopefully, I've noticed the gas prices have gone down. I'm seeing 2.88 here, so that's good. We're under $3, better than it was anyway. So anytime that gas starts getting cheaper, then you're going to see, you know, that start to pay off in the grocery store. Hopefully, at some point, they don't come down quite as quick because I'm sure they got to make sure they don't want to keep juggling prices around. They're going to make sure it's actually a trend down. What I hear and see on TV is this might just be a Santa Claus rally, and this is just low volume. Things move up a lot of times with low volumes. And they expect recession next year. We're already in a recession as far as I'm concerned, and bad earnings for a couple of quarters at least, and for companies. But even in a recession, the markets have, they can go up. They're looking about 6 months out. The market's always looking about 6 months out. If they can see the light at the end of the tunnel, then you can see a market turn. And the thing about it is when you, just like that Fed day the other day, if you're not in it, you're all on the sideline, you're going to miss some nice days like that. And next thing you know, you've had 2 or 3 good, nice days like that, and you've missed your opportunity for a nice gain. You see some of those we had up 20% in a week. And so just sitting on the sideline or selling them when they're down, that's just the wrong moves at times like this. The risk is going up from this point. I mean, it could go back down, and that could happen. But once you go down so far, you get people that get tired of selling, and the selling stops, and then eventually, with any kind of good news, it starts to turn up. That's the same thing happens when it goes up. You get up so high that people get tired of buying and they start to sell. And that's what happened to us, and especially when the Fed starts doing what they did. And, in the future, a good thing to remember is that the Fed starts talking about upping interest rates. That's bad for the market. That's bad for the market, especially things like the NASDAQ and these tech stocks. But anyway, I won't be doing these videos very often. We'll be doing them, every 3 or 4 weeks because there's not a whole lot going on. Now, if something major happens, we might get on here, but there's no need to get on here and just beat a dead horse. This is just going to be something we're going to have to ride out. Hopefully, we get back on here in 3 or 4 weeks, and it's some more good news, and a lot of these are still going green. That'd be great. I hope that's what happens. So hang in there. Again, good time to put money to work. You don't get these low prices. You can see Amazon, Google, Tesla, good stocks like that have gotten beat up. And they're not the only ones. There's tons of them like that out there. So great time to put money to work, especially if you got 4 or 5 year horizon there. And I think we probably all do is we're going to live, if we live that long. This stuff tends to last, a year and a half, 2 years. And we're getting close to that already. I mean, this probably summer next year we'll be into this 2-year downward trend or so. But go back and look at the charts to see when it started. But anyway, hang in there. That's what I'm going to do. And we'll talk to you later. Thanks.